all her, that the fact that she has so many posts up, even more proof that she has not shut up. No one is expecting her to shut up because that would be impossible. No one, I don't even think anybody is expecting her to shut up at this point. Even her attorneys can't get her to shut up. And they don't even care. It's like she doesn't even care if she's hurting her own case. And I'm sure they're probably telling her, please don't say these things online because it's not going to help your case in court. Because YouTube is not court. And court is not like being on your YouTube channel. You can't go to court with all that nonsense. Judge ain't going to hear all this stuff about conspiracy theories. You can't prove someone has a plot to assassinate you. You can't even follow the money trail and show receipts of these transactions someone told you about. And then you're trying to blame the French government and the Macrons on assassinating Charlie Kirk, an American civilian, American citizen, but now trying to plot to assassinate you. That's even more defamatory if you can't prove it. Because that's how that works in court. You have to have evidence in court on that. You're saying someone committed a criminal activity, like someone committed a crime. You're not saying someone is bullying me. You're saying someone committed a crime of murder. That's serious. You have to have evidence on that because if it were just like with the criminal matter with Tyler James Robinson and the charges, it is the prosecutor's job to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So you can't go in there half-stepping with that. So this post up here from November 23rd, where she says, I'm told about the payments for assassinations are running through the Club des Saints in France. This means there's a paper trail. She won't look at it. I would like to, again, to stress that there was a French female assassin. This is why I want to see that post, because there's a whole lot more to that. I mean, this girl's still posting as of 16 hours ago. You can't make this up. It's laughable that she wants people to think they're just trying to shut me up. Girl, no one's trying to shut you up. We want you to keep on talking. People who are smart enough to understand what you're doing, now we want you to keep talking. Because she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Her attorneys have got to be pulling their hair out. All of them. Like, why don't you stop? You're hurting us. This is not helping, girl. I know. Let her talk. Let her talk. Keep on talking, Candace. We won't stop you. So it's got to be a part of this. I'm still looking for that comment, but I don't see it on here. I don't know. Did she remove it? You can't remove comments on Twitter X, can you? Did she remove it? Why would it not be there? Either way. So you guys see the comment there in the video. All right, so let's go to this because I Googled, researching on. Club des Saints. I would assume I'm saying that right. Let's go to Wikipedia because she hates it. Le Club des Saints. I hope I'm saying this right. Nope. That is in French. What am I doing? Absolutely not. I need this in English. There we go. Let me put it back up. There we go. So this information here is on the research of this. Club des Saints means Club of 100, brings together distinguished gastronomes such as Kornonsky, I'm going to mispronounce someone's name, I know it, Henry Galt, Christian Milou, and Doyon. This club is also known as the Compagnons de Cocagne. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't speak French. As it indicates, the club has exactly 100 official members. In addition, there are a few trainees, as well as foreign honorary members. Founded in 1912 by Louis Forrest, the club engages in various activities focused on gastronomy. What is gastronomy? It's the study of the relationship between food and culture. The art of preparing and serving rich or delicate and appetizing food, the cooking styles of particular regions, and the science of good eating. How? Why was something related to gastronomy want to plot to assassinate Candace Owens? Why would they want to do this? It doesn't even sound like these men have ever held a weapon or gotten in a fight. They study food. Why would this group have any relation to a transaction to have an American citizen assassinated? Why? What sense does that make? Payments are running through this club? Candace, it sounds like she's been trolled again. You can't make this up. Did she even look this up before she posted this up? Because make this make sense? So a group that studies the relationship between food and culture, the art of preparing and serving rich or delicate and appetizing food, cooking styles of particular regions, and just the science of good eating is facilitating transactions as a part of an assassination plot from the French government on Candace Owens. Really? Really? This has gone on for centuries. Established in 1912, cool kid. 1912, because we read words. You know, everything's really fake and gay. Oh my God. See, we're quoting Candace. Like she said, everything is fake and gay. Sounds like to me this assassination plot is fake and gay. Okay. You can't make this up. What the hell? That's the science of good eating. Why this particular field? Somebody say it could be a front. Why this particular field? Why this particular, of all the things in France? Why this? Club des Cent, Club of 100. Why this group? Of all the groups and organizations in the country of France, that has been a country before the America, North America, the US, was established as a nation. They helped the America fight against the British to establish our independence. They're like known for rebellion. Of all the groups, you're not talking about like a strike team, anything closely related to a military there. Anything, you're talking about something that studies science, the science of good eating. How many of you all heard of the show Good Eats with Alton Brown? Anyone heard of that? It was on Food Network. It's called Good Eats. Yeah, that reminds me of that. If you've ever heard of Good Eats, there's a show on Food Network. I watched it when I was pregnant every day, religiously. And he basically broke down food to a science. He would even go through the molecular structure of food, right? In case you all don't know, let me pull it up. Because I actually like Alton Brown. He's cool. Good Eats. Because this is similar to what Good Eats is. If you're trying to think of what that could mean or what that could be, Good Eats would be one of it. It's like he was able to come in from an angle with science and biology, how certain foods affected the body, how yeast releases air bubbles to give, rise to bread and all these things. Like he would go down to the molecular structure of starch. This man incorporated science in his shows. This is Alton Brown. This show called Good Eats. Very good show on Food Network. And you were able to learn more than just food. You learned about the science of it. That's what this club is. They're like the French version of Good Eats. And look at this. Does Alton look like a person that could plot an assassination? Really? Can't make this up. He's like one of just a dorky looking guy that he's even got. He had whole chemistry lab set up to give the breakdown of how sugar is melted to become caramel or something. Like it was science all throughout his shows. He would be considered a gastronome, someone who studied gastronomy. Like he was just an expert in that. And he had a fun, clever way of putting his shows together to incorporate science with food. She's saying the French version of Good Eats facilitated transactions to plot some sort of assassination attempt on her. The French version of this. Make this make sense. This is absolutely absurd. Oh my God. I'll get some comments in. And no, I'm not reading dumb comments either. I just can't. Y'all, the candy ass is so mad they leaving out by the droves because science. You can't make this up. Hit the like button on the way out. If your goal was to make me mad, you're not doing it. It's just you failed. You can't make this up. She's saying the French version of Alton Brown is out to get him. I can't. I just you, y'all. Y'all, please make sure. Candace is programming her fans to be brain dead. Did any of them look up Club de Sant? They didn't even look it up. I can guarantee you that right now. They came over here to learn information because they know Lady Luck Club is going to Google it. And then they're going to say something dumb in the comments. And then they're going to go away when they realize these terms are getting more complex and very difficult to understand. Because what's gastronomy? Can you make this up? Alton Brown is the epitome of that. So I'm giving you all an American version of what a French gastronome is in this club, the site. Like that's been around since 1912. Probably before Candace's parents were even born. Maybe her grandparents were born or kids. If that. So you're talking about something that's been around for over 100 years. Well over 100 years. And somehow, of all the human beings on earth, the French version of Alton Brown is plotting to assassinate Candace Owens because reasons. You think these men care? You think that these 100 men in France that are sitting here enjoying a good meal and the science of it, and they want to sit here and face the idea of being involved in some heinous crime? Do you really think that they would want to do something like that when they can just sit around and eat cheese and wine all day? The French version of Alton Brown, 100 of them, Club of 100, came together and said, yeah, we ought to do something about this Candace Owens, because reasons. Never mind the crappy food that we could possibly face eating in prison for the rest of our lives. But yeah, because the Macrons are suing her or something. Defamation, things that they could care less about. Do you really think they study anything that's going on in the United States of America? Candace, you are making yourself more important than a foreign country. Do you really think France is studying you? They not studying you. As a matter of fact, for most of these people, you're just entertainment. They don't want to see their entertainment go away. They're so addicted to Candace, it's like a fix. It's like drug addicts. They would have to withdraw from her. You think this club cares about anything going on with the Macron lawsuit. They just want to eat and have a good meal and study the science of food and good eating. They just want to know what it tastes, what fresh bread tastes like with no sugar, with maybe a little bit more sugar, with just the right amount of sugar, maybe with some milk and egg in it. Let's see how that goes. That's what they do. They sit around and study the relationship between food and culture, art, preparing and serving rich. But everything is fake and gay. This is what they do. I highly doubt any of these 100 men have ever even held a weapon or even thought about becoming a member of a military. I said I highly doubt. Not saying they don't exist. I highly doubt. But there could be some. But they could care less about what's going on with the government like that. As long as it doesn't hinder what they're doing, they could care less. And let's not forget, the lawsuit is going to be heard in a U.S. court. In a U.S. court. And it's ironic, Candace, that you read a letter where you doxed your own attorney's address, their law firm, where you put it out there. Because most of your brain dead cult members could care less where your attorneys work. They probably didn't even read the lawsuit, just like Candace didn't read the indictment of Tyler James Robinson, because reading is not fundamental. They don't research, they just go on whatever she says. They don't challenge it. They don't think logically through these things. So 100 men that are the French version of Alton Brown are allowing transactions to flow through to aid in some assassination plot of Candace Owens, where she didn't even get the paper trail her damn self. Make this make sense. She didn't even research this stuff herself and get her own paper trail. Candace could easily just follow the money. Follow the money, Candace. This is absolutely crazy. That's a good comment. I'm sorry for the silence. I was reading this comment. Blanket on the beat. Someone needs to just do a mock investigation in Candace's style about how Candace is behind Kirk's murder, having help funnel money from radical Islamists to the trans radicals and pushed it off. I mean, and you know what's so crazy? The fact that she's being trolled in her own tip line and doesn't even know it is hysterical. And now she's probably pissed off her attorneys because all these people know where they work. I don't know, but I don't know, no, but I know, I don't know, no, but I know, because you can't make this stop. She wants to stay relevant. Exactly. What's going on, Juju? And to all of you all out there, thank you all for tuning in. Hit the like button. Whether you can't stand my guts or not, you got to admit, this is just hilarious how, basic research can help you connect the dots. Okay. Candace, you're bad at this, girl. You are bad at this. You have someone telling you there's a paper trail and you didn't even follow the money. And I'm able to sit here and break down Club de Sang and Gastronomy and why 100 men that are the French version of Alton Brown are not stun you. If you can't produce evidence, Candace, do you understand how much time and resources you're going to be wasting? The FBI is going to do their due diligence. Of course, they're going to look into it and investigate it. But if it turns out to where, Candace, you've yet come up with something that renders no evidence or proof at all, because she has not posted anything as evidence to show that there is an actual plot against her, let alone follow the money. She won't even do the basics. Girl, you got 4 kids and a whole husband. That's so weird and suspicious. It's not even funny. Why would you not want to do this? Stop trying to get out of this lawsuit, Candace, because that's all this comes down to. She's trying to get out this lawsuit. Nobody wishing ill will on her. Ain't nobody wishing death on her. No one's even trying to force her to shut up. So no, of all countries, the French, all of a sudden, it seems like it's getting closer to a court date, Candace. I feel like it's getting close to a court date, girl. Yeah, no, 100 Alton Browns they don't care what you're doing. They don't care, they probably care that you're trying to defame them and you're accusing them of plotting an assassination against you, which is highly defamatory. Highly defamatory with zero evidence. And when someone tells you there's a paper trail, you still do not get that paper trail. Girl, bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. You can't make this up. Bye, Felicia. No one wants anything to happen to her, but bye, Felicia. She doesn't know how to stop defaming people. That is a heinous crime to accuse someone of doing. Do you know how much destruction that would bring to their group, to their organization? From somebody in America that they not studying? They don't have to take care of Candace. They don't have to pay her mortgage or pay her bills and take care of her kids. Why, of all the groups, why pick out this one? The most docile group in France. Gastronomy, of all things. Something she probably couldn't define. She didn't even look this up because she would have been like, nah, that's just too outlandish. These people just want to sit around and eat a meal all day. Why bring them into it? You can't make this up. All they do at the end of each meeting is have an assessment is made of the quality of the meal. Like they go around and eat meals. It's absurd. It's only 100 of them. They just want to eat a meal. They not stun you. They don't want to be brought into your nonsense, Candace. They want you to leave them alone. You kidding me? So here's another article from the International Business Times. And I'll post this link, because research and reading is fundamental. I'll post this up and then I'm going to get to some more comments and then we're going to get to Ami because we're all ready to laugh. We all need a good laugh at this point. Shout out, no reply. I'm banking on Candace losing her case due to not being able to find new representation in her lawsuit. Me too. I'm banking on Candace losing her case because she keeps adding on evidence as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the club Desant decided to sue her ass as well. You can't make this up. And they will be well within their rights. You think they got time for this? They living their lives, going around the world, eating food from every region, drinking wines and stuff, doing taste testings. They not studying that. So of course it's gonna sully them as a group. She just named them randomly out of nowhere. She didn't even try to go along with something that's closely militant, at least. Nope. Let me go to 100 people that basically are the French versions of Alton Brown goodies and just accuse them of trying to assassinate me, or it's transactions related to it, rather. The transactions related to it, with no evidence or proof. And then I'm going to have all of France go and follow the money as opposed to me doing it because reasons. Out of here. So you all see here, this article was posted up on the 24th of November. Candace Owens claims assassination plot traced to elite French club Desant. And I could be just saying that wrong. I don't, whatever. So it goes into the information about some French insider alerted her to a supposed assassination plan involving elite police unit foreign operatives and a mysterious group known as Club Desant. Candace Owens has ignited an international firestorm after posting an extraordinarily late-night message on X claiming that the payments for political assassinations in France are being routed through the elite Club Desant because of reasons. Her post has been viewed more than 3.7 million times. They can sue her for every view. $1. And it would not be hard. You're alleging 100 people of facilitating transactions where they have nothing to do with anything going on with Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm sure they would never want to see anyone be assassinated like that in national television in front of the public. But they have nothing to do with it. And she's just bringing in some random club of all clubs. 3.7 million times over. They have absolutely every right to sue her because this is the epitome of defamation. And when someone says there's a paper trail, she doesn't even try to research and get the actual paper trail. No effort in that at all because she would have posted it. You out of your mind? In her explosive message, she wrote, I am told, because people keep telling her things because maybe they're just trolling her or she's just making it up. That payments for assassinations are running through the club Descent in France. This means there is a paper trail, and I encourage the patriots of France to do what you can to uncover it. I know they're just trying to enjoy their day. She then escalated her accusation, further claiming not only that a French female assassin had been selected to kill her, but that a male Israeli operative had also been recruited. A male Israeli operative and a female French assassin. Because this it's like reading a script out of the most absurd movie in Hollywood. No evidence on this, so you're not going to release their names, Candace. But you outed a donor because Gomax. But you don't want to release the name of this Israeli operative, this male Israeli operative, or this French female assassin. You won't say anything about them. You won't even give like how tall they are, what color is their hair, the color of the eyes, what they were last wearing, any, where they went to school, maybe. You won't give any information about these people, but you can dox and out a donor. This is the hypocrisy that's staggering to me. Yeah, man. I feel her source is the tip line. Exactly. She doesn't vet her tips. Candace, you are bad at this. You're not even trying to even come up with something that makes sense. Club Descent doesn't make sense. From what they do, it wouldn't make sense. And then somehow there's a paper trail of transactions and you don't get that. Man, this is woo child. These are joint state operations, she declared, because she declared it with no evidence. Owens' claims follow an earlier statement in which she insisted a high-ranking French government source warned her that the President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte had authorized and funded a plot to assassinate her without any evidence on the actual funding. Not even the method of payment was released. Was it a wire transfer? Was it? We're back to the cash in the briefcase exchanged by a trash can near the French president's home or something? Nothing. A check in the mail. Like, how did this go? None of that. You can't make this up. In that previous message, she said the Macrons had executed upon and paid for my assassination with no proof, and that the order had been given, no proof of that order, had been given to a small unit within the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group. No proof of that either. None. Not even a photo of the people in the group. Nope, nothing. She also alleged that an Israeli operative was embedded within the team and that the operation had been formalized. Where's the evidence of this formalization? Where is it? If someone was there and they heard everything, wouldn't they have written something down? Wouldn't they be able to point something out? Wouldn't they go back, try to take a photo of these people? Where is the evidence, Candace? Owens' aide added that American officials knew of the supposed plot, but could not be trusted to protect her. Okay, why even file a complaint with them then? Just do it yourself. You and the mommy slews that are impersonating CIA agents all day. Why don't you all just do it yourselves and do your own research? Why send friends to help you with this when you can just call the person that told you about these payments and ask them to send you all the proof of it? I cannot reiterate that enough. Urging the public to take her warning seriously in case something happens. Candace, you're going to court. They're suing you. The only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to lose and end up paying a hefty, hefty judgment. You may want to start asking Alex Jones, how did that work out for him when he thought he was going to win as well? Now he owes all the money and he will never be able to retire. You can't make this up. The Macrons have already sued Owens for defamation over recent accusations, which has magnified the global attention on her latest round of allegations. Gourmet society or secret payment route. We need the actual payment method. Owens mentioned the club design immediately baffled thousands of users. France has two groups with similar names. One is the famous Gastronomy Society, founded in 1912, an exclusive dining club of 100 members known for weekly meals at top Paris restaurants. The other is a cycling club for enthusiasts who have conquered 100 mountain passes. Either they're enjoying a good meal or they're a cycling club. Either way, they're going to start getting all this harassment, all this bullying, all this BS from her, mommy slews and her diehard candy ass cult members. People are going to get doxxed even the more, even though she won't reveal this Israeli operative and this French female assassin. No, you won't dox those two people, though. You won't release any information on them. And let me be clear, I don't encourage doxing at all. But she won't even say anything about them, just anything. I have photos. Here's a photo. Blur the image. Here's how tall they are, the color of their hair, something to that extent. The area of France where they live. Nothing at all. But these people now are going to have to be subjected to being cyber harassed, cyber bullied, and doxed because she put it out there. Now both groups are about to catch it. From the brain dead cult members that just listen to every word she says and they don't ask questions. Because that's what happens with anyone she mentions. From Phil Lyman to Rob McCoy to Mikey McCoy, Frank Turek, Phil Lyman's mother. I mean, you go down the laundry list. Some kid in a green hoodie. Two other college students. Oh, the sponsors and donors. What about the Jewish conservatives catching death threats? Is that right for them to catch death threats? The hypocrisy is staggering, Candace. So now you're going to subject these two groups to more of the BS from your candy ass cult followers for no good reason with zero evidence to support it. And you won't even ask for it. Ridiculous. Owens did not clarify what she meant because she didn't. She didn't even look it up herself. She has no idea what it is. A secretive network of elites allegedly funneling assassination payments through the club. She provided no documents, financial records, or corroborating evidence to support the claim because she never does. Because it's called lying. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. What's going on? You got a couple weeks. All right. No, I know what I'm doing. Oh no, honey. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't think she sees what she's doing. Let her talk. No, I see what I'm doing. I'm reading an article. Enlighten me on what I should be doing. You can't make this up. Apparently, I'm still listening, Nicole. I'm still waiting for that 7K to hit my account or Cash App or Zelle or whatever. Apparently, these people want me to be rich and have money too. Whatever. That doesn't saying that I should get blessed with $7,000 does not hurt my feelings at all. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Love says she's preparing her defense by saying she's mentally ill. I'm waiting on the seven. It was why can't it be $7,777.77? Why does it have to be 7,000? Why can't it be all sevens? I mean, we're going on, payments from, you know, Israel. With numbers are significant, right? Numbers in the Bible, numbers historically with the Hebrews and with Jewish people are significant. Why not go for 144,000? Like equal to the tribe of Judah. Ugh. I wait. Why can't it be all sevens? I don't have a bias. I'm reading information. Candace has no evidence, and unless you have some, produce it. Tell her to post the receipts or the proof of the transactions. Why don't y'all tell her to do that? I mean, we can easily say that maybe Candace is paying her cult followers mortgages and rent. Perhaps she's paying all your bills and you feel that you need to somehow defend her. I don't know. We can all say the same thing. 7,000 is not even nearly enough, honey, for the research and the information that I produce. That would be an insult. But if they want to give me 7,000, I'm just saying, why not make it 77777.77? I mean, really, just make it all sevens. And who said that they offer 7,000? You all don't even ask about that. Where's the evidence of proof that they offer someone 7 grand? I want to see emails. I want to see documentation on this. I want to see evidence. 7,000 makes no sense. Why not all sevens? Your view. Look at you entertaining me. Jesus loves the trolls as well. You got to give them something. Oh, I'm debunking her. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, okay. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. Keep calling on him. Maybe he'll answer. You can't make this up. Candace is defaming me. Yeah, because I'm not gonna be angry. I'd rather it sound silly to you, but at least we're reading. We're reading. We read up in here. Bye. Y'all wish Nicole Johnson a good night. Have a good night, dear. Sleep peacefully. You'll be back tomorrow. You can't make this stuff up. So this is what she's doing. This is what Candace is doing. Now you have all these posts here. These weird ass posts. No evidence. No evidence on this paper trail. They didn't lie when they said that. She provided no documents, financial records, or corroborating evidence to support the claim because she didn't. That is a fact, and facts don't care about your feelings. We want facts, proof, evidence, documentation. That's what she should be posting up. If she doesn't trust the feds, the government, or any government, then why is she trusting anything that a French government person is telling her? A French government employee told her this. Why is she trusting them if she doesn't trust governments? She's not a globalist because she said that already a long time ago. We even played the video of her saying, some nonsense about nationalism and globalism, 2 words she can't define, while she was with Turning Point in the UK. So she's already said she's not a globalist. So why would you take the word of some high-ranking French government official or employee if you don't trust the government? You don't trust the feds, but you didn't have a choice but to file a complaint with the feds, right? You want the White House to do something, which they don't do. They don't investigate. The White House is the executive branch of power. They don't do investigations. That is for our judicial branch of government to do. And yet she wants the White House to once again try to intervene in something. But she doesn't trust the White House. She doesn't trust the FBI. She hasn't even filed a complaint with her local police in the state of Tennessee. Her attorneys haven't even filed anything for her. Wouldn't the attorneys file some complaint or be able to attest to something? Wouldn't they at least file an affidavit on her behalf? She's got 3 attorneys. Why aren't the attorneys filing an affidavit on her behalf. Help me understand it. She gave out the address to their law firm. The candy asses aren't thinking about this because they don't really think. Why didn't she contact her attorneys and say what can be done legally so that we can address this matter on two fronts? We can get a complaint filed with, the local police authority here in my state, as well as the FBI, and then do something with the court. Maybe get a protection order. Candace, why don't you get a protection order? Because you already think you got some gag order with your name on it that you had already planned on violating, even though it doesn't apply to you. Why didn't she get a protection order? I want anyone to just answer me. I know the Lucksters, you guys, we understand just basic concepts. But at the candy asses, think about this. Why wouldn't she go and file for a protection order? Her attorneys can do that for her. She's got 3 attorneys representing her in the Macron lawsuit. Why won't she ask her attorneys, hey, can we get a protection order in place just for my safety and security so that I feel better? At least have something in writing from the courts. While the local authorities do an investigation because she lives in Tennessee, and while the FBI does the complaint and does an investigation from there. Because you're talking about some assassination plot from another country. Why does she get a protection order? You can't make this up. After she Juju said after she bashed the president and the head FBI, and she's asking for SOS by Felicia. I know, right? I want to know. Get a protection order. You want to know how a protection? Okay, so here's how protection orders work. You can do a petition to the court. The petition to the court is basically saying, okay, there's a threat on my life. Like when someone threatens to do you physical bodily injury or harm, you can do a petition for a protection order. You do it in the state, based on the district of where you live. So you go to whatever the district she lives in or county she lives in. She would go to that court and she would do a petition. She can get an attorney to represent her, and they can do it for her, and they will file a petition for a protection order. And then typically those types of hearings are heard ex parte. So you don't need the defendant to be present for the initial hearing. Those one of those rare exceptions where you can have an ex parte hearing without the other party being present. And then you present your evidence. And if there's enough finding of evidence based on the criteria of the law, they will grant at least a temporary protection order, also known as a TPO. So she can do a TPO. She would have to do it in her state, because the thing would be for her to be protected so they don't come within so many feet of her. If she wants to add her attorney's address to it, so when she's there, she has that protection, she can. But she would have to file that in the district, in the court of where she resides. And then she can include, hey, I travel, I have a YouTube channel, pretty huge. I travel a lot. So I need to include these addresses on it. So when I go to Delaware, here's the address I need this protection to extend to. So that way, when she goes to see her attorneys in Delaware, then at least that address is also covered. So when she's there, then that gives her that layer of protection. And then the court establishes a hearing for that. So that temporary protection order is typically in place until you get a hearing where now, after the temporary protection order has been granted, the service can be done to the defendant. So they will process service. They would, ensure that the defendant gets a copy of the petition, and then they get a court date and they establish a hearing. So that's where the defendant will be able to come to court and say, okay, here's my defense to this. You see what I'm saying? So that's something she can do and get some level of protection from the court while she files a complaint between local authorities, whatever, police department in her district is, as well as the FBI. The White House does not do investigations. They rely on our judicial branch of government, that being the Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security. The DOJ has many subcomponents underneath it, including the FBI. So they're only going to let the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security do that investigation. Either way, the White House will not be doing that. That's not what our executive branch does. So there's so many other ways that she could be doing this. Like, she could have done this a long time ago. That's my whole thing. If she's saying that this plot, she's been saying this for over a year, why not go ahead and at least get a TPO? Why didn't she do this, 2 months ago? If she felt like when what's his name, Andrew COVID, or that CIA contractor spouse said that, hey, it should have been you 2 months ago, back on September 10th, she should have done it then. She should have filed a complaint, and she should have filed a petition for a TPO then. But why didn't she do that? That's what I'm saying. If someone is truly, gotten some threat on their life and they're concerned, these are the first things you're going to think to do. She has enough money to be able to afford attorneys in any state, whether it be Delaware or Tennessee. So the first thing I would do is get that protection for me and my kids, my family. That TPO can be for everyone in the household. Her kids are being homeschooled. Cover the attorney's office in Delaware, maybe where she goes to church. They would do all this for her. But these are things she's not even, she didn't even ask about the actual receipts from whomever told her these transactions are happening through this club. That's what's so crazy about this. She's not moving like someone. She's not doing things as, like a person who is afraid of their life, who feels like they have an assassination plot against them from a world leader. She's not making moves like that. She's not producing any evidence. She's not doing anything that would at least give the perception that she's trying to get some level of protection. Like, it's so crazy. Oh God. And it's just defamatory at best. I mean, at worst, really. Because you're saying club decide and you're not specifying this. I mean, even if she would have done a Google search, she would have known that there's at least 2 clubs with the same name. She didn't do that. It's so crazy. Exactly. With 4 kids. She got 4 kids. She got a husband. She's got parents. She could at least did that in place. Yes, it does. It may not protect your life, but at the very least, you have something in place in case someone comes around, you think something suspicious going on, and you at least know the people to name. You can be safeguarded. But if that's the case, then an FBI complaint wouldn't do any good. Doesn't save her life either, right? So if the protection order is useless, so is a complaint, because neither one of them are going to actually save your life. Even if you file a complaint, someone wanted to come do something, that's common sense. If someone wanted to do something, they can still do it if they wanted to do it. But she's not even making these types of decisions to try to show I'm putting whatever safeguards in place that I can to keep me and my family safe. So, I can't do whataboutisms. Do something. So but she hasn't shown any proof that someone is trying to unalive her. She hasn't shown any evidence that there is even a threat. None at all. Not even a little bit. And that's what people are saying. Can you give us one piece of evidence? That's it. That's all. But I don't want people you see what's going to happen here? This is how serious this is. What about these people that are going to be subjected to harassment and bullying and doxing now? Because people are catching death threats because of her accusations against them. So now there's 2 more groups that are going to be subjected to online death threats. A man is sitting in jail in Florida with 12 counts. She refuses to denounce the actions of Nicholas Ray, that sent online death threats to 3 Jewish conservatives that Candace Owens insinuated in being involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And she hasn't said anything about that. She ain't said anything about Kanye West apologizing to a rabbi. And she's not even going to acknowledge if these people start catching death threats. She wouldn't even acknowledge it. This is what I mean. That's not how things are handled. No, not at all. Not at all. So let's see here. Proud liberal for you. Thank you for the $2 soup. I appreciate it. I forget to say that there's $25 go. I always forget to say that, y'all. Sometimes we meet it, sometimes we don't. If you like to support the channel financially, it's up to you all, but just hit the like button. That's all I appreciate. For the most. What did Erica Kirk's OBGYN die from? Wait, what? Who said her I don't know who her OBGYN is. I have no idea who her OBGYN is. So I just, like I said, I don't wish any ill will or harm. I don't even want her to dox this so-called French female assassin or the Israeli operator. I don't want her to put the names out there. But if she's willing to dox others, I just find it hypocritical that she's not giving any information on these two at all. And I don't think it would be hard to discover who's in these two groups if people really want to find out. But should they be subjected to it is the question. The answer is no. They should not be subjected to it. They got cyber harassment, cyberbullying, doxing coming their way. And for what? When she didn't even research what's the difference. Didn't even know there's two clubs with the same name. It's crazy. So shout out to Alton Brown and Good Eats for showing us all how gastronomy is done. You guys make sure you check him out. He's funny. He's pretty funny.